All right. Good evening. Hello and welcome to the stream. My name is System, and yeah, I'm gonna do a couple things tonight. And at some point in time, maybe as early as tonight, I'm going to use one of my steel ingots and make a backpack. But I think if I remember correctly, in order for me to do that, I need to get ooh, hold on one second. Is my bitrate okay? I think my bitrate is okay. Alright, I think it's okay. It's something I usually check before I get started, but you know what? I wasn't even thinking. Let's see. So, hope everybody is having a good night. I'm having an all right night. I'm off work today. Have a late start to a stream, but it's fine. Um I was actually off having fun on a different pack tonight. I'll probably talk about that a little bit. Uh, yeah, a little bit later. Let's see. Here in this one, I'll take the bed with me. Here in this one, I just want to show what I've got. I haven't really played any more than what people saw at the end of the last stream. Although I did jump on very briefly, and there we go. I did jump on very briefly, and um, I had found a spawner, but really wasn't ready to look at it. Well, I went back and watched enough of that VOD to get the coordinates of the portal and or of the spawner, and so that's what that is. And maybe um, let me get down here real quick. Maybe if we want to be brave, we'll do that first. All right. All right. So, again, I don't have any major plans for tonight, or at least right this second. Um, I just know I needed to make a little bit more progress. So that's all I'm really looking at right now. Let's see. Where is it this one? No. It's that one. Okay. All right. I do have a handful of torches. And I ran in there, threw down one torch, and then ran out. And I did see that it was a zombie spawner. And I did also see that there is a connected cave, kind of behind the spawner, kind of to the side. So it's definitely not going to be, um, it won't be smooth sailing getting in there. Let's just say it like that. Uh, so I figured get this over with. If this is a massive L, maybe I could just sneak out of it without too much pain and frustration. And if it is a massive L, then I'll just I'll start a new season real quick. Okay, so where's the opening? Right here. Okay, so that was anticlimactic. Thom, steel, a rare, Invar, nice, bacon, cool. I'll take the 10. Broken Mjolnir is gonna stay there for the time being. I'm gonna poke a few holes to see if there's any adjoining cave. I don't see it. I did hear something. So I don't think I'm gonna use that spawner for anything, but I definitely wanted to check that chest out, and I'm glad that I did. All right, that's the one I just looked at. Okay, well, let's get out of here. Yeah, I don't have the tools or the resources to be jumping into any of this stuff. I do need to be pretty careful. I might maybe start working on some better tools in by the end of this run or by the end of this stream, but yeah, honestly, it's going to almost entirely depend on whether or not I can get uh, whether I can get some better resources. Yeah, so this is a limonite vein here. I'll probably come right back to this limonite vein. Yeah, I want to drop some of this stuff off real quick. Things have been a little bit a little hectic for me. A little I guess hectic for no reason, honestly. Um, my job sucks. It still sucks. I have put in my notice. Uh, I've put in my notice to step down out of the position that I'm in, and I am going to I'm going to find something new. But what I told the job is I want to step down into something that's less taxing. Um, honestly, I that wasn't entirely the truth. I'm stepping down entirely. I just what I wanted my boss to do is to expedite finding somebody to do at least part of my job. We'll see. Now let's see if this rare gives us an ender pearl. Oh, got a diamond though. So again, with me putting my notice in there, I should uh, I should have some more free time in the near future. I would like to stream a little bit more. I need to get back on my creative projects, and I needed some time to go around and buy a car because that's kind of been on. That's the most major thing that I need to do right now that has been on the back burner for at least a month at this point in time. Like every day that I have off from my job, it's raining outside, and my scooter has a short in the wiring harness, so it doesn't want to run in the rain. Um, I just kind of want to get rid of the scooter entirely. It is fixable, but yeah, uh, um, I just kind of want to be rid of the whole thing. Let's eat some of you. So, I have plenty of leads on alternative employment. um, but again, you know, it's just going to be a matter of time. I don't have the time to put anything into motion right now. In addition to all of the other stuff that I want to try to get done, um, at some point I am going to have to prioritize. No, let's eat this. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm sitting at IRL. That's the reason why I'm not streaming a whole lot right now. Hopefully this is like the worst of it. Like right in this kind of this 2 week period that of my notice is probably going to be the worst of it, and this is right around the middle of that notice period. So um I want to keep you. Then oh, I haven't gotten any leather yet. Yeah, okay, all right. In that case, let's go ahead and bricks. Crafting station, a little bit of food. Okay, let's. I am playing a dangerous game here, that is for sure. And if you give me another second, you'll see that I'm going to go about 100 blocks over and dig straight down. I'm gonna go and get this limonite vein, which is right here. But yeah, I had mentioned just a few minutes ago about that pack. Scrambles actually found this pack. It's called Craft to Exile 2. It's supposed to be like, you know, kind of like a Path of Exile in Minecraft. It's pretty cool. We were kicking it around a little bit today. A couple different sessions. Definitely want to get back to that pretty soon, Scrambles, for sure. But yeah, I also it's been a minute since I was over here. All right, so the limonite is going to be centered right about here. Okay. And there. At some point I would have to go back through here and put in some stairs. Yeah, I got to agree with you, Scrambles. Like the splash image for my Twitch page was on a pack called Dark RPG that Scrambles and I had played on, and to that point, I actually thought that was the coolest RPG pack that we've played. And granted, it's a little bit too early to crown it far and away the winner, but honestly, Craft Exile 2 is probably that pack to dethrone Dark RPG. All right, come on. Where you at, Lemonite? Hey, John. Oh, dude, Dark RPG. Oh my god, I was so salty about that. I've probably complained about that at least a half dozen times on stream. That, you know, I got like 3 weeks into that build and they gave us 48 hours. Do you like it too, John? Nice. It's definitely fun. Wait, what? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, we were playing it on Valhalla, but as much as I like that place, Valhalla has a tendency to churn through packs. Um, yeah, we were playing publicly, but yeah, they have a tendency to churn through packs, and it kind of it worries me because especially since and I don't even know if you saw this, Scrambles, but there was a few moments last week where the Valhalla guys actually put up an announcement saying that they were going to close down. They were closing up shop, and they quickly took it down because they were able to get enough player donations to stay afloat. But yeah, yeah, that network overall kind of worries me as far as like longevity is concerned, but I've never had a problem with them. They've always been great guys. It's just I don't know. I don't know if uh uh let's see, how should I say this? I don't know what kind of I don't know how much longevity that pack has. Um and I also don't know how much longevity that network has. But I think the pack is really cool. The pack is definitely really cool. Uh, let's see. So let's see. In Greg Tech, I actually I've been working a little bit on the Dwarven Stronghold, but I don't really have enough. I didn't have enough progress to show off for tonight, and I think it was actually I think it's been literally a week since I streamed, so I knew I needed to try to doing something. Um, the next stream that I do is probably, like, almost surely going to be the Dwarven run, but that could be 4 or 5 days from today. I'm not 100% sure. Um, but yeah, I did actually put in my notice at my current job, and I've got a few leads at other jobs of just all things depending on what I decide I want to what I want to do for the interim between leaving the one that I'm at and buying a car to go to the one that I actually want. There's a chance, like, I don't know if I necessarily want to, but there's a chance I might just take a month off. I have, I've got savings. I don't want to coast on savings, but man, I've got a lot of creative projects that I would like to tie a bow on. I've got a novel that's like right at the point of getting extra eyes on it for some beta readers. Um I got some other stuff that's like right on the edge of being um uh good enough to show off, I suppose. You know, that's kind of the worst thing about my current job is that I have a nothing job. I really have like an absolute nothing job. It really is. And I should be able to just tune it all out and act like it is a nothing job like it is, and then come home and do my creative things. But it absolutely grinds my soul into dust. Um so yeah, time to move on. Let's see. Let's see. All right, John. I'm fully willing to throw a channel up on the Discord. Um, um, it all depends on like uh uh. I know I want to do some cool, fun multiplayer things with people, and I would even like because Craft Exile is seems like the kind of thing that would probably even be fun to stream. So again, Scrambles and I kicking it around today were kind of like the test runs of seeing how it is. Yeah, it does seem pretty fun. Um, oh yeah, I don't have a Discord link like that, Abiru, but it is in my channel description. I probably need to refresh that too. If the channel description doesn't work, let me know. uh, uh, yeah, I was even yeah, Scrambles, you're 100% right. I was even joking around like um uh I'm actually honestly I'm thinking about going and cooking in a bar. Just for the interim, just to have a different kind of different kind of atmosphere. I've cooked in bars before. It's not anything that I'm new to. I don't drink, so I don't like being around alcohol. But at this point, I'm just gonna take something that I can walk to until I buy my car and get to the one that I can drive to. Nice, thank you, John. Appreciate you. Um, the only reason I haven't actually left on the spot is because I want to try to make sure that I get my PTO. I already got screwed over. Thank you, Abiru. Yeah, because actually, I'll get to that in just a second. Um, um, uh, oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, what? I lost my train of thought. But I'll tell you what. Like I was saying to Scrambles, I'm pretty sure you heard the conversation, so this is nothing new to you. But um, I was saying that my novel is like nine oh yeah, screwed on PTO. I'll get back to that here in a second. But yeah, the novel is like 95, 98% done, and I could tweak it and nitpick it all, until the end of time. But I got a funny feeling that as soon as I start letting people look at it and get different opinions on the situation, that I might end up rewriting a whole bunch of it anyway. So why nitpick it to the nth degree right now when I might be rewriting whole chapters in like a month? So I think I'm just gonna pass it along and let you take a look at it. And oh, it's not long at all. It's 200 something pages formatted for paperback. To like 228 ish. um and it's not how should I say this? It's dense, but it's not dense. Like it's there's a whole lot of things happening very quickly, and that's kind of by design because it's meant to feel like it's going too fast for the main character. um but also at the same time it's not dense. It's not like you're gonna have to break out a thesaurus and hit you know hit an encyclopedia after every line to try to figure out what I'm talking about. It's not like that. But it is yeah, it's literally just like a mine. I've been formatting mine oversized, so I'm not a trade paperback person. I've been formatting mine. I think it's called A5 because a regular letter sheet of paper is A4, and if you fold that in half along its long axis, that would be an A5 sheet. And so that's the size of my novel. Or well, that's the size of the books that I'm going to be publishing is A5. Yeah, I was gonna try to read oh, who was it? Because I've wanted to crack open some of like the historic, historically like the most important novels ever written and stuff like that, but uh James Joyce was way too dense. I didn't get any enjoyment out of that. Charles Dickens was paid by the word, and it shows. And I really wasn't getting any enjoyment out of his. I like Poe and H.G. Wells, but like I read those so much when I was a kid. It's like I wanted something different. And then after that, it's like there's 10 billion authors out there right now, and I don't know where to start on any kind of like modern fiction to kind of like chew through the chaff to find the really good stuff. And I don't really know I don't even know what the good stuff is in my, like for my mind. You know what I mean? Like I don't know exactly what I'm looking for. I probably won't know until I find it, but I know what I like. I like I'm a let's see. I don't like heavy detail. Like how about this? I even tried to read George R. R. Martin, and I don't dislike his writing style. I think it's all right, but I set down his first book the moment that he spent like 3 pages straight talking about it was either the dinner scene or it was like somebody's dress, and it's like if you spend 3 pages explaining like a spread on a table or the sequins on a dress, it's like, sorry, I don't care that much. Get on with it, it's like with that being said, I think my novel will be very difficult for people with aphasia or the kind of people that don't have a mind's eye, that don't have like the internal imaginative eye to be able to envision those types of scenes. Because I don't describe that stuff hardly at all. Like I don't want to have to explain what a city block looks like. I probably shouldn't have to. But for people with aphasia, they might read my novel and not get anything out of it. So I'm not. I don't know. I don't know which way I'm going to go with that. But as of right now, it's my book is very light on on connective detail, I suppose. uh they were a cross between Cerulean and Periwinkle, and you'd know this if you read the book, John. But yeah, I especially with this book that I've got going right now, it's like it is really meant to be like a first person. It is first person omniscient, more or less, but it's meant to be like in the main character's head. So she's not like she's an intelligent girl, but like she's closer to street smart than book smart. Let's just say it like that. Um, and then, oh, you know what? I'm gonna snooze the ads for a few minutes. Uh, so yeah, that's part of the reason why I haven't really put my novel out there for people to look at, is because for the longest time I was a little bit worried that the intentional lack of connective detail was going to put people off. Um, I'm a little less worried about that now. Especially since I've read a couple novels in the past, in the interim time since I started this story, literally a decade ago. Um, I've read a couple novels that were even more sparse than mine, and I didn't dislike them. Uh, I'm gonna leave it as it is, and I'm gonna just give it a shot and see what people think about it. If I needed to add some things to it, I'm sure that anybody that ends up being a beta reader will let me know if there's certain areas that feel a little thin, or a little too threadbare, even if they're meant to be threadbare. And then, ooh, what are you? Blue slime. Interesting. Um, yeah, I like the book because it's very very deep and very very basic at the same time, and it's meant to be a popcorn read that's worth reading twice. And getting all of that right is it's going to be, it's going to be a balancing act. Let's be real. And I don't think I hit the mark. I don't think I bullseyed the mark on my first attempt. So again, I could nitpick it until the end of time, but yeah, it's about time to get some extra eyes on it. I have posted some other stuff in the Discord. I've posted a couple compilations of stories, and most of those are short stories and prompt responses. Um, at some point in time, I'll go through there and put like a proper table of contents on each of those compilation documents, and I might go through and pick like my top three out of each one of those. Just so in case anybody wants to take a look at something, but maybe only like uh, you know, skim through a selected best of the stuff that I've posted. I've also posted a link to my world anvil, to the Pathfinder slash 5e world that I was building for a gaming campaign. Um, uh, Scrambles can attest to this. I'm sure Abiru can also attest to this. My old D&D gaming group were a bunch of oddballs, and I was trying to make a really cool, really engaging, and deep story for that group to run through, and it was not ruined necessarily, but it was derailed almost from the very beginning. Yeah, yeah. Especially, okay, so we had two players in that group, and I don't know if I want to name them. I might actually slip and name them on accident in a minute, but I'll put it to you this way: window liquor was the nice way of putting it. I remember we were playing a part of a campaign, and I forget who the DM was in that one, but one of the two younger guys that was always being an idiot. Uh, there was two guys, and one was always an idiot, and one was always Batman, and also an idiot. So the one that was not Batman was playing a barbarian, and that barbarian was, I believe, whatever the race is that you're like half dragon or whatever, Dragonborn, I think it's called. I think it's Dragonborn, whatever. Anyway, he that character healed when they were in fire, okay? And so we were in this inn on this island slash platform in the middle of this river, and this river runs at like 200 miles an hour, and it was like a 50-foot drop into the river, okay? Like, quite literally, they were trying to telegraph that if you stepped off the edge of this island, you were going to die instantly. So anyway, so we're in this inn and we're getting ready to leave, and this guy, the window liquor number one, the one that wasn't Batman, he says, all right, I want to start a fire. And the DM thinking, okay, well, he's just trying to heal or whatever. And he's like, all right, well, okay, so roll to see if you can do the thing. I forget exactly how it went. I apologize. And then he was like, no, I want to start a fire. And he says, my character points over to those barrels of alcohol in the corner. And we're all like, well, are you serious? And we're all like, of course, in silence, just rolling our eyes. And so he lights it on fire. The inn catches on fire. Okay. So the rest of the party understands that we're going to burn to death. Let's get across this bridge before the bridge catches on fire. Sure enough, we get across the bridge catches on fire and falls out. And so the guy was like, well, I'm going to cross the bridge. And the DM's like, you can't. It's burned and it's gone. You set a fire. You burned the bridge. It is gone. What are you doing? He's like, oh, well, I'll just stay here and wait for them to come get me. And the DM was like, they're not coming back for you. What are you going to do right now? And he's like, oh, well, I guess I'll just walk off the edge of this. I'll walk off the edge of the island to get away from the fire. And at that point in time, like, we were all in each other's DMs like, we can't play with this guy anymore. This is absolute insanity. We cannot waste hours of our time, dealing with this stuff over and over and over. And then as soon as he died, like for real died after the rolls were done, and let's see. Yeah, I think it was H or D. You know the two that I'm talking about, but yeah. He was like, oh, well, if I'm dead, I'm just going to make a new character. And like every one of us, almost in unison, we were like, no. That was probably the funniest part of that entire session, of us just be like we were finally done with this guy, like finally just like done for real, done with him. The other one that made all of those a problem was the one that was because I think D was the one that the one that I just described. H was Batman, I think. He played Batman as every character. It didn't matter if it was genre useful or not. I think one time his character's name was literally Batman, like first name literally, last name Batman. I mean, like literally Batman. It was like fucking insane. um, yeah, he would drive us crazy too because he'd be like, "I am the Knight. I am going to sneak." And like just again, like very young guy, he didn't have the kind of voice to play Batman anyway. But yeah, just very uh short-sighted uh about his decisions. Yeah, the Dark Knight fails. Yes. Call him the Dork Knight. uh but yeah, that's part of the reason why I ended up shelving my that's part of the reason why I shelved my game world, is because like they weren't taking they weren't taking joke worlds seriously, and I was trying to run something that was going to be a little bit more serious than the regular campaigns, and it wouldn't work for them. And I just didn't want to grind myself into dust trying to run something for people that weren't in that kind of mind frame. I might pick that idea up after these ads that are going to happen in just a second. So everybody get up and have a stretch break. We'll be back live in a few minutes. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep breaking a little bit more. You can see that I'm at 85% for the mining XP on this thing until I can start mining most of this ore with the flint pick, which is what I want to do. I want to get this thing up to level 1. Let's see. All right. Are we up? Are we back? Are we back? We back. All right, we back. What's up, guys? uh, yeah, I love being having some silly fun, and there is definitely a ton of room and space to have silly fun. It really is. Like, um, I just think that like at a certain point in time, you know, you you have to use my like in my opinion, like my characters would be silly until it was time to move a plot along, or until it was time to be until it was time to um you know maybe kick off the next leg of a quest or something like that. There's plenty of silliness to be had in the normal course of adventuring. um yeah. Yeah, and that's fair. um and that's entirely fair. Like, some people just want to have and I'm not even saying that this is like this is the way that you were talking about it, but like, even if somebody wanted to just have a complete like a joke campaign, that's totally cool too. I would participate. But I would bring a different character for that, if that makes sense. I actually have a really fun character named Clarence. Clarence is a oh, let me think if I can remember what he is. Uh, he is a skeleton lich druid. Wrap your mind around that. And one of his favorite things to do is to tease people. Uh, um, one of his favorite things is to tell people their bones are wet. It's just absolute stupidity, um, but that's a character that would be fun to play. Um, so like, yeah, so the setting that I was building was a setting where like there was it's full of vampires and dragons. Yeah, I think that was the one. I think. And it's funny too, because Scrambles can probably attest to this. We played session one of so many different campaigns back then. Like, I'm actually I might not be able to tell some of them apart. But yeah, that one was fun. That one was definitely fun. I remember that one. At least I think I remember that one. I could be mistaken. Anyway, oh, I heard a meow. So there's definitely a wither witch over here. Um. So yeah, I'm actually gonna post some of my. I wrote a backstory for almost every character that I played in that group, and I'm gonna start posting some of those backstories for some of those characters because, let's see, I had Tamlamar Hennis, which was a warlock who had lost his memory. Um, he didn't really know how or why he got where he was, and I was kind of letting the DM uh, 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 kind of kite my character around, so to speak. Um, I had another one that was, and I barely even got to use. And Scrambles also played there for a brief time. There was a place called the Battalion that did a bunch of one shot campaign type sessions, where like they were one shots but larger, part of a larger um group effort to keep a continent clean or whatever. I forget exactly the way that it was worded, but I had so many cool characters for that one too. I made myself a rat folk sorcerer, and his name was Vinculum Radicand, I believe. Um, a bunch of cool stuff. Yeah. Um, I had a Forge cleric. I forget his name off the top of my head, but believe it or not, the Forge cleric had he worshipped the god of the Forge, and I'm trying to remember the name of that god. It was 5 letters, and it started with an O. And believe it or not, I'm actually going to make that the deity of the dwarves of my dwarven stronghold build that John is hosting. I just don't remember the name of that deity. It's like Orthan, not uh oh Otro. I'd have to look it up anyway. It doesn't matter right now, but details that I haven't put in place yet. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Scrambles. And also, yeah, I think you're right, Abiru. Yeah, I want my the world that I'm building. I want it to be a living world, so that like even if the player characters pass or get stuck on doing some sort of Oscar, that's funny. Um, even if the player characters get diverted or sidetracked or locked up for doing something stupid, I wanted the world itself to be living and breathing. So I had made a whole bunch of lore for that world. It was called Tower Shadow, and the idea was uh the characters would be kind of like small fish in a big pond, and the main city in that is a city where you call it a city of heroes, where you could just casually find level 16s and level 20s just walking around going to the grocery store, like and that's part of the problem that old group had. I'm like, listen, y'all, you can't f around in this place. You cannot like cold cock punching people in Tower Square. Like, you're not going to jail, you're going to get disintegrated. Like, you can't be like that in this setting. And I think they took that as being too strict or something along those lines, whereas I was really just trying to restrict some of the murder hobo tendencies of the aforementioned two knuckleheads, D and H. um, but yeah, I want to get back to that at some point in time, because that was a fun setting, and there were plenty of silly things to be done in that world. Um, and also that had one of the coolest ideas. The idea of the world is that the world itself was going to start becoming a part of the seams, and it was being kind of ripped apart, inside out by some sort of group of creatures from the abyssal realms. Um, and the one of the final fights of the whole thing was going to be uh uh is going to be like a giant like all hands on deck type boss battle, where all the heroes in the area are fighting a creature that is essentially Cthulhu Jr., um and not having a whole lot of success with it. um uh there was a group in that setting called the United Heroes Contracting Service, and without getting into a whole lot of the details, um anytime the UHCS sent a group of heroes out, they demanded that the heroes would bring back a piece of treasure to imbue with the record of their travels. Imagine a magic imbuement, dedicated to their deeds. What I wasn't going to say was that that was actually a bit of a trap, and all of those items ended up becoming like the D&D version of like Horcruxes, where it would trap a small piece of that adventurer's soul inside that item. And that final battle came between the forces of the living world and the abyssal monsters led by Cthulhu Jr., um, uh, all of those relics that the UHCS heroes had gathered up started stirring and coming to life, and the way that the head of UHCS, who was a incredibly powerful being that was unnamed but incredibly powerful, probably could have been a demigod in their own right. He animated all of those millions of treasures that they had gathered over the previous 40 or 50 years of existence. And so, um, if the greatest hero of all time went on like 300 adventures, all of a sudden those 300 items would come to life in the shape of the adventurer that ran those adventures. And over time, with the help of the UHCS, I don't know, spirit guardian, whatever's, they were able to defeat the big bad. But what was cool was, as soon as those weapons and armors and trinkets and whatnot were not imbued with the soul scraps, or I don't know exactly the wording that I was going to use, but those items, those legendary items, would be raining down out of the sky down to the ground floor where the rest of the battle was taking place. So not only would the player characters have to be careful not to get hurt by their foe of choice, but they would also have to watch out for falling relics coming out of the sky. And I thought that was kind of that would have been a cool thing where a very competent player could probably re-gear mid-fight. And I just, again, I was never able to get all the way to that point. Especially not with the group that we used to play with. Because again, unfortunately there were no Batmans in this setting. So so yeah, it was going to be painful right from the start. Let's see. Bureau, yeah. Yeah, and again, like you said, screw those guys, because they were just uh they're out to make everything weird. And it's just like, I don't know about you guys, like specifically like Abiru and Scrambles. I don't know about you guys, but I know I left before I let them collectively rub off on me too much, because bunch of freaking weirdos. Um, but again, I like having fun, and I like being silly. I like having absurdist fun. But I also wanted to build a campaign that was worth getting invested in, I suppose. And it just wasn't. It wouldn't have been for that group, and I didn't know that at the time. So, um, let's see what else. Ooh, do I not have any logs? There it is. All right. Yeah. I am looking forward to doing some more to playing some pen and paper like RPG type stuff. I just I've kind of stayed away from all of that stuff collectively from the back to back disappointments of that old group, and then immediately going off to the battalion and having all of my disappointments there as well. Um, yeah, it was just, I don't know. I need to find a good group, but as right now, I can't do anything about it anyway because I don't have the right kind of schedule to be able to join any kind of solid groups. I know the battalion was pretty cool, and they ran one shots where you could have just a bunch of different characters of any kind of any kind of build at level 3 or level 5 or whatever it was that they ran. But the admin there took special joy in killing player characters. The battalion admin actively bragged that he had a 50% player kill rate. Like of all of the one shots that he ran, he killed 50% of the player characters. And what I didn't know at the time was that was aspirational. Yeah, like he was determined to end that many player characters, and that sucks because again, I was writing backstories for every single character that I had made in those times. Yeah, Abiru. That I he killed. I had I had a polearm master named Pem Murthiki, and I really liked that character, even though I had just started playing him. But I loved Pem, and I wanted to keep him going. But we were on a ship, and I can't remember what, but there was a corpse in the driver in the captain's chair, and me and two other people, we were trying to discuss whether or not we should try to pilot this ship, or see if it's haunted, or see if this skeleton was animated, because we didn't know what was coming. All we knew was that the DM loved killing player characters, and so we were being like triply careful about what we were doing. Oh, I only needed 3. So we were being super duper careful about what we were doing, and finally, like 20 minutes later, after dithering, we're finally like, so we can step into this room and start taking taking stock of what what the consoles say and all this other stuff. And he's like, oh yeah, sure, go ahead. And then he's like, all right, well, as soon as all 3 of you step through the passageway, the airlock bursts open, and Pem, your character gets sucked out of the airlock, and I forget the girl's name, but yeah, the girl character's name held on for dear life on the railing next to the door or something, and so yeah, my poor polearm master got ejected from a spacecraft 100 miles above the surface of the plane of Mechanus. Yeah, no perception checks. Like, he didn't let us roll anything, and that's why we were dithering for so long. We're like, well, what can we do? Like, we don't know. You're not giving us any information. Like, and he's like, well, you don't need any information to walk through the door. You can just go and look and see what it is after you get there. And no, what can we see from out here? Like, we already know that there's something weird going on here. Like, what is going on? Like, we were trying to hack it out. And yeah, I don't like playing with obtuse people like that, and it just kind of ruined me, ruined my mind for the whole thing for quite a while. Yeah, yeah, and let's be real, Abiru. I was even talking about, like, again, my guy Pem. He was a fighter with the polearm master feat, and he had his halberd. I was like, I have 10-foot reach. If there is a trap in there, I can spring it with the end of my pole arm. Can I tap around and see? Can I tap around and see what I can do? And he's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. So I did. Nothing happened, of course, because he was planning on killing us. So yeah, it's just, yeah. I actually had an arachne, because they were allowing us to play, they were allowing us to play homebrew races, and so I had an arachne. Her name was Esther, and I thought that was one of the coolest characters of all time, but they didn't, because they didn't read the description of Arachne before I started using it, and they didn't like the fact that I had a climb speed of 40 feet. And they had made, the game master was trying to run a game again where he was trying to kill 50% of the characters, and so I just simply made a silk rope out of the place, and I evacuated the whole group. How about that? He banned Arachnes the next day, made a whole post about it and everything. Just absolute nuttiness. So yeah, I'll stop complaining about all that stuff. But yeah, those back to back situations really ruined my mind for playing random games of like RP type games. But I really love that type of stuff, and I want to get back to it. I just need to find I need to find the right format, because I do like the idea of one shots, and I do like the idea of having multiple characters, and you can pick and choose which one would be better for the scenario. And I don't even dislike the idea of killing off player characters. I wouldn't do it on purpose, but it would be interesting if a player character died and then you had to go on a side quest to get the reagents to cast revivify or whatever. You know what I mean? I think in Pathfinder all you need is a crushed diamond, but you could make it whatever you wanted. Um, yeah, that's empty. Okay. Um, but yeah. Uh, my setting, Tower's Shadow, was going to be my attempt um, to make a setting that was a little bit, I don't know, quote unquote better than those other things that I had been doing with the other groups that I'd been playing with. Um, I don't mean better as in like more engaging or more strategic, but better is just in like more playable, like less punishing. Um, let's see. What else is good? Um, I do plan on I'm gonna start uh, building more pages for Tower Shadows World Anvil. Probably as soon as I let go of the beta version of this novel, I think I'm gonna go back over there and start filling in new pages. There is a thing called World Anvil. I think I've mentioned this before, but I'll go ahead and mention it again. If you've got any kind of like role playing world that you want to keep track of details of like plot devices, areas, species, races, groups, interpersonal relationships, any of that type of stuff. I really like World Anvil. You can make self-referential wiki links where you can wiki walk your own game world if you get it built well enough. Um, which is really cool to keep all of the lore for a game in one place. The only thing that's bad about World Anvil is that for the free person version, you can either you use the free version or the paid version, but the free version you can only have 20 pages in progress at any one time. So that means you basically have to publish partial pages in order to be able to make enough pages total to make your self-referential wiki. I think I've got like 100 pages on mine, and mine's like barely even started, honestly. But you think about having like a different page for each city in the world, for each race in the world, for major characters, for major guilds, for major groups, for armies, for this and this and this and that and that and that, and you know you blow past 20 open pages almost instantly, if you're doing it to any kind of realistic degree. And that's the only thing that sucks about the free version of World Anvil. Everything else about it is pretty awesome. So I highly recommend everybody checking that out if that's relevant to their interests. I know mine is posted in the I think I named the channel role playing. That's where I'm going to put some of my character backstories once I compile those. Another one of my favorite characters that I had back then. His name was Raxon. He was a the race was called Lashunta. They were called space dwarves. That was the kind of the colloquial term for them. Kind of dwarven height, but they had antennae, kind of like a oh I lost my train of thought. Uh oh shoot, what's the name of that thing? Whatever. I can't think of the name. Sorry. Um, yeah, I loved Raxon, and he had a wolfhound, like a giant wolfhound named Omen, and Raxon and Omen was going to be like a character pair that I wanted to play like a whole campaign with. Well, that silly ass group, I think that whole thing lasted 2 sessions. Um, and actually, I ended up having to at a certain point in time on the last session of that thing, I actually took Omen and rode away. I was trying to ride away from the whole situation because I don't think any of those players were taking were taking the setting seriously, from what I can remember. Um, what else is good? Um, I've been thinking about reading some of my fiction on a stream at some point in time, and I don't know how that's going to work. Honestly, I don't know if that's the kind of thing that would even work on a stream or not. I have no idea. I don't know. It's going to be something that I'll experiment with at some point in time. But the one thing that I want to read is a piece called "The Jester of Tower Square," and the idea behind that was I had a couple of named main character, like main NPC characters in that world that were going through some tough times, and I wrote the Jester of Tower Square as a what if, and the what if was what would the spell Vicious Mockery look like in reality? Like in practice, what would it look like to get viciously mocked? And I wrote that story, and I think it turned out really, really good. And actually, the one person that I've been wanting to show that to is Scrambles, but I didn't want to tell him, like, hey man, check out this story, I think you're gonna like this. I said, what if Vicious Mockery was done in verse? But I didn't want to have to say, all right, well, you have to go and read these 6 pages of my wiki and the backstory for these 3 characters in order to know what's going on. So I never actually passed that along, but I might in the future, Mr. Scrambles, if you're still listening. I just loved the idea of a motley fool like dancing in jest, and then like literally viciously mocking the main NPC character. So I think it turned out really, really good. But again, just to know what's going on, I didn't want to have to tell you to read all these backstories and whatnot. I think it stands on its own, but you wouldn't know who any of the characters were. I'll probably send that directly to you. I don't know if that's something that I'll post on the Discord. I think what I will do is post it on the World Anvil at some point in time. Because I've got some lore chapters posted on the World Anvil. I actually had 8 lore chapters posted for people to get ready for the campaign. Like, I was going to have 10 lore chapters that people could read as an optional thing before the campaign even started, and then I was going to write 1 or 2 lore chapters in between each major session, or in between each like major step along the way. So like the Jester of Tower Square was going to be one of those main lore chapters that was going to happen once the player characters played a few sessions. We never really got that far. Let's see. Oh, it's already almost dark again. Dang. I was getting ready to go for a run. I guess I'm glad I looked up. Oh, what'd you say, John? Pathfinder 3rd book is 6 just started. Gnome cleric with riding sheep and a revolver. That's awesome. That's fun. That's fun. I do. I like the little characters. I really do. I like the gnomes and the kobolds and the dwarves and the Lashunta, which were the space dwarves. I've played mouse folk, I've played rat folk, I've played halflings, I've played I don't think I've ever played a normal sized character. I think maybe the only normal sized characters I've had were the I mentioned him earlier. Tan the Warlock. He was just a regular human, quote unquote, and And my boy Pem that got blown out of an airlock, he was just a regular human. I think everything else has been some sort of a smaller race. All right. Yeah, I lost the plot, you guys. I've been sitting here talking about the plot of this game for so long. I lost the plot of this of the game I'm actually playing here. Let me get some tools built. And this. Oh, and one more now. Okay. And then nice. Let's see, what else is good? I did post the beginning of a new novel, or perhaps a novella, in my Discord, and that is called Albert Huberdinkle. And for that one started off as a writing prompt that was essentially your family shuns magic, and has shunned magic for centuries, and then one day magic disappears. And I thought that was the coolest writing prompt of all time, so I used that as a what if, because I kind of brainstorming, like, well, what if like the paladins, like the Order of Paladins, was an actual, like, a distinct entity in the world? What if, like, the Council of Mages was an actual distinct entity in the world? And I kept going through that, like what does the Thieves Guild run? What do the mages run? What do the knights run? What do the paladins run? I kind of came up with this setting for that prompt, and I came up. It's just I think it's a really, really cool story overall that I've barely even started. So of all the things that I've written, and I'll post a bunch of them eventually, honestly, I'll post almost everything that's readable eventually. But if anybody asked me what to start with, or what I like the most, or what I, like, when and I've used this term before, and I don't know if this is the right way of saying it, but I do like some of the stuff that I've written, and I do reread some of the stuff that I've written. I try not to get high on my own supply, but a lot of the ideas that I've had have been really compelling, even if the stories themselves weren't. Albert Huberdinkle is the one that I would always go back to, and that's the one that I would always recommend. Is my favorite, even if it's a little bit clunky along the way. I know that the beginning of that story is very clunky. Okay. So now I need 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gonna be that. I always get this backwards. Is it like this? Yeah, okay. Let's see. What else is good? I do have other projects that I want to try to get back to. But I think, in total, like the sum total of all the things that I've just been talking about the last 45 minutes or whatever, I think that's a pretty good a pretty good swath of the things that I want to try to get back to doing. I do have other things on my to-do list, but until I can get some actual steps done on the things that I've already just mentioned. I think I'll leave the rest of the stuff on the back burner. Like I want to get back to learning how to program. I want to get back to doing some other things. I've got other novels to write, and I've got other stories to finish and whatnot. But one thing at a time. One thing at a time, because I'm not getting anything else done. So that's why I'm kind of going as hard as I can on the novel at the moment, because that is the closest to being complete enough to show off. There we go. And then let's see. I do have I'm pretty sure that once I get back to working on getting some feedback on the novel and getting it actually moving for real, I feel like I'll be able to make some quick progress on it, because I have been working on it off and on for a decade. So I feel like once I actually start investing some proper time into it, the progress on that should go pretty quickly. And it is about that time where I need to start looking around to commission a cover, because oh hey oh no 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 no, let me get away from those crimsons. I was so that's actually right there. That's the first aluminum gravel that I've seen in this world at all. Like, at all, completely. I just didn't realize it was so close to those crimson guys. I am glad that they didn't see me. Oof. Man, that knocked me right off my game. What was I even talking about? I was talking about the creative projects that I was doing. Oof. Um it is yeah, it's about time for me to commission a cover for my novel. And I've tried to do that a few times in the past. It's kind of fallen through every single time, but it seems like it's a different issue every single time. So I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do for that, but I do need to get that process going again. And I might just bite the bullet and find somebody on Fiverr that'll do it this time. At least it'll get done. You know what I mean? Like, I need even if it ends up just being like a placeholder cover until I can get the art that I want. I'm going to commission something that'll work for them for the interim. Even if commission somebody for 20-30 bucks or whatever it ends up being, for something that's good enough to work for the moment. Because I know if you get a real cover done by a real artist that has a site and actual references and all that other stuff, you could be looking at like $150 for a cover. Even if it only takes them like 10 or 15 minutes of work. Like my covers are minimalist. My covers shouldn't be difficult at all. A competent artist should be able to make any of my book covers in like 10 minutes. But it's going to take a competent artist to do it that quickly, that well. I don't know if I'm going to find that on Fiverr, but I got to start somewhere. Um, so yeah, finding a good minimalist artist is hard because minimalism is hard. Uh, it's very difficult to make something that basic. Like every stroke, every line, every movement has meaning when you are working in a minimalist style. And so, there is no room for extraneous things. There's no room for error. But, on the flip side, you can get it done very, very quickly if you have that kind of deft hand. Yeah, minimalism is way harder, way more difficult than anybody wants to realize. Yeah, like a good quality minimalist artist is you know they can name their price. Let's just be real. And it's funny because the name of my novel is Risen Fallen, like risen comma fallen. And um the it'll be those words on a black background, and the words themselves are going to be in a font similar to the Back to the Future movie font, if that makes sense. Um, but again, getting somebody that can do that properly without ripping off other artists, or without making it just be like gaudy, it's going to be very difficult. It really is. And I haven't been able to do it myself. I've tried. I like making art, but I understand my own limitations. Yeah, Abiru. I love photorealism. I love that whole genre is just cool as hell to me. But you're right, it requires a different kind of skill. And to be good at photorealism is, it is a practiced skill, but it is a different kind of skill. Um, so yeah, I do try to give artists the credit that they rightfully deserve. Um, because especially if somebody is at the top of their particular game, whatever that game may be, um, it is very, very difficult to make a piece of art that moves people. Some artists end up doing it on accident. uh, it's very difficult to make art that moves people, and it's even more difficult to make minimalist art that moves people. Um, so yeah, all credit where credit is due. Anybody that can do that, again, they can name their price. Honestly, yeah, I agree, Bureau. It's a whole lot easier to cover up um, mistakes, real or imagined, in a realistic or a photorealistic setting. Because again, let's be real. Sometimes a mistake in art isn't a mistake at all. Sometimes it's a happy accident, like Mr. Ross would have said. Um, uh, Photorealism has less room for happy little accidents, and that's the only knock against it that I can think of. Um, and let's see. I have a compilation book that should have been out years ago. I've been dithering on that one too, and that one's called Mirage. And I was trying to get a cover for that one that kind of looked like Mirage spelled out in sandstone blocks that would have been like half buried in desert dunes that looked like they were piling up on top of each other. But again, I was never able to do that myself. I had never really got anything that I made personally that I liked, and I never found an artist that worked in the style that I was looking for. So again, it's just going to be one more thing that I'm going to have to go on Fiverr and kind of, you know, roll the dice with somebody that looks competent. That is true. That's true, Bureau. Which is again, what's part of the reason why I do like abstract styles is it leaves some an interpretation directly to the audience, the person perceiving the art, and that's kind of cool in and of itself. Where you know everybody can have their own personalized experience from a piece of abstract art because it is just like that. You know, it's you know, you can have a snooty art nerd tell you what it's supposed to be, but you know, art is subjective. You know, um, but yeah, you know, if it is meant to be photorealistic, it is a little bit more difficult uh, to cover things that perhaps you don't like about the piece. Um, but while we're on that side of the discussion, that is one thing that I've been trying to learn and instill in myself is that I'm very brutal on myself. I am very difficult on myself, and part of the reason why I haven't put much of my things out ever is because I am so brutal on myself. You know, my internal monologue is not good, and so I need to treat myself a little bit better, and that includes my art. Like again, you know, I know that mine isn't world class or it's not world beating. It's not like you know, it's not like I'm gonna you know, instantly have like you know 10 trillion views on anything that I do, but it's not garbage either. It's like there is something in the middle, and there is something worthwhile about the things that I've done. And really what I need to do is I need to learn how to let it go as it is and just let people enjoy it for what it is. And that's really the thing that I've been struggling with the last, you know, years, you know, 3 4 5 years, whatever, you know, however long it's been since I've actively been trying to work towards some of these goals. um, that you know, I've never really wanted to be commercial about any of the things that I've been doing, but I wanted my stuff to be at a level that is comparable to commercial works. And I don't know if that's a realistic goal. I don't know if that's a realistic thing that I should be you know, demanding of myself as a rank amateur. Um because the thing about the quote unquote professionals is they've got editors on standby. They've got a whole group of people that are going to puff them up and tell them how good their stuff is no matter what it is. um I'll never be able to compete with that, you know, not ever. So for me being hard on myself, it is quite literally the definition of self-defeating. And so that's been my major hurdle the last few years, is just kind of working my way around that. And maybe at some point in time I'll be able to maybe better define some terms, or to describe the angle that I'm going at a little bit better. Um, but you know, the old cliche remains true: just do it. You know, just do that thing. Just make the art. Just write the story. Just you know, just sing the song. You know, whatever it is that you're gonna do, no matter what, you're always gonna have somebody that hates it. And no matter what, somebody will like it, but you have to put it out there and let it sit for people to find it to be able to like it. So I am very slowly but very surely getting my mind all the way around that kind of that group of ideas that, you know, that I need to be a little bit less difficult on myself, and that I need to put things out for people to find, because it's never going to happen any other way. Oh, there is an ad coming up in just a few seconds. I'm going to run back to base, but I'm going to stay at the keys. Feel free to get up and get a drink and stretch, but they're going to start any second now. So I'll see you guys on the flip side. Yeah, that was definitely a skill issue if you saw that. Let's see. Is that nothing? Yeah, there probably is a cave there, but I'm not worried about it. Another skill issue right there. Oh man, it is going to be a bad day if I'm out here on a run and I get a blood moon, because for anybody that hasn't been watching, this is a hardcore run, and for this season of my hardcore run, I'm not using any warps at all. So I'll say that again once we're back from commercial, from the commercial break. I hate ads. I really do hate ads. Um, I really wish that the entire internet didn't run on ads, but you know, it is the way that it works, and you kind of got to work with the system that is given. But I definitely do not like ads. Let's see. Speed 25, jump of 70. All right, this guy is definitely leather. 89 and 29. I'll leave you. You're not bad actually. 87 and 27, but bad health. Is that oh, that's a horse too. Okay. Oh, and there's finally some aluminum gravel I can get. Okay. 78 and 19. Yeah, you're gone. All right. I think we're back from the break. I think. Welcome back, everybody. I know at the end of what I was talking about right before the commercials started, or the ads or whatever. I was talking about creative projects, and I do want to reiterate this again, that like be creative, do whatever it is that you do, because nobody else is going to do it the way that you do it, and there's always going to be somebody that likes it. And the only way you're ever going to find that out is if you do it and then you put it out there for other people to find. And you kind of just gotta have I know me personally, you just kind of have to have a thicker skin about the way that some people like to criticize things. Um, so it's just it's all a matter of figuring out where your comfort level is with in regards to uh, criticism or uh, feedback. Um, I don't dislike feedback, but the thing that I have a problem with is that I don't sometimes I don't get the right feedback. A lot of times I'm in my own mind too much, and I'm playing 10D chess against myself, and it doesn't really come through in the stuff that I create. So again, I know I'm gonna show I'm gonna pass my my novel project to Abiru, and she'll probably read it one day, and you might get something completely different from it than what I've put in, because you're looking at it from a different perspective, you know. Ooh, dime. Let's make you yellow. Enabled off. But but you know, that's cool. That's a good thing, because first of all, it's going to give me a different perspective of you know, the way that people see, you know, the thing that I made. I might be able to tune it a little bit better in order to perhaps elicit some of the responses that I thought that I was going to get, you know, however it may play out, you know. um uh And let's be real, even if you don't like it and don't finish it, that still gives me good information. So, so no matter what, it's I'm kind of at the point where I'm going to need to let uh to let this type of thing happen no matter what. And let's be real, I probably should have gotten eyes on this years ago. Um, it's been I finished the first draft. Uh, yeah, the first draft of the novel was done February of 2020, and I started it in April of 2013. So I've been working on this thing a very long time, off and on. 82 and 20. Yeah, you suck. . 52 and 21. You suck. .57-24. You suck. .23. I forget how many I needed, but I think I remember in the last hardcore playthrough, I got 40 or 50 right off the top. Because I don't remember the count that I had, but I know I needed that many. So I'm going to do that again. let's see. What else is good? Uh, so I talked about all of the active creative projects. I've talked about getting a new job. I've talked about taking a vacation. I've talked about the other streaming things that I'm trying to do. I do want to play some other interactive things. Like I know John had what mentioned at the beginning of this stream about perhaps considering loading up a world for that mod pack that we were talking about at the beginning, Craft Exile. I really do want to do some multiplayer stuff with people, whether or not it ends up on stream. I know I haven't had a chance to put any of that stuff in motion because of my work schedule, but that should resolve itself relatively soon. It's not going to be a perpetual problem. So yeah, I've been thinking about doing like a challenge map, like a capture the wool or complete the monument or whatever type thing. But a challenge mod pack or an adventure mod pack could be a fun thing too. It's just again the logistics of making it happen. It's so far beyond me right this second. Like I can't even think about it, but it does sound really fun. It sounds like a really fun and cool thing to do. Again, not to belabor the point, but I don't know if I'm going to be making any more moves before I make the IRL move away from my current job, which is that move definitely has its own risks. There is a non-zero chance that I don't get another job right away, and I need to be cognizant of that as well. So it's not all sunshine, but I do see a light at the end of the tunnel. Let's see. I do want to read. I want to read some of my fiction, but I don't know how I want to do that. I don't know if that's going to be like, do I record videos to post on Twitch? Do I actually stream it on Twitch? Do I record it and post the videos on the Discord? Do I maybe go and post my stuff on something like Royal Road? And then maybe do some voiceover work on the Discord. I don't know exactly what I'm doing or where I'm going with my potential readings of any fiction that I've created. But I have been thinking about that. There's a few stories that I've been wanting to read. I've been wanting to read The Jester of Tower Square. I know I mentioned that at length earlier. I love that short story. It's good. And it might actually be better than I think it is. And I'm already a little high on my own supply when it comes to that one. But I do think it's really good. There's another short that I've been wanting to read called Terrendipity. That's one of the newest things that I've written, but I like that one. There's some other shorts that I've wanted to read, some other prompt responses. I've also been thinking about reading some of the poetry that I've written in the past. Again, none of it is world breaking, none of it is game changing, but yeah, like at some point in time, I want to do some of these cool creative things. Whether or not I want to do it for myself, but I want to do it well enough that other people could appreciate it and could like it. So I want to the audience is myself, but I'm hoping that any other viewing audience or listening audience would be able to get something awesome out of the things that I do, because I want them to be I want them to be that cool. You know, I want them to be something that I can look back on and say, yeah, that was pretty neat. You know, maybe at the limits of my abilities at the time, but still pretty neat. Um, okay, let's see. Let's eat. Ooh, what are we eating? Oh man, what are we eating? So let's make a furnace. Let's see. There's some other things that I've written. I actually wrote a short called Anxiety Coin. And that's actually in compilation too. That's one of that's one of the things that I've already got posted. I want to read that too, but that one is that one might be like a heavy listen. I'm not 100% sure about how that one is going to be received, but um, again, you know, I'm doing it for myself, and I hope that when I do these things for myself, that any listening or viewing audience might be able to get something out of it as well. So, um, uh, and I guess I can reiterate this too. I know I have said this in the past, but it is worth reiterating, especially for newer viewers or for people that might need to hear this multiple times, myself included. Um, just do it. You know, just make the thing. Just make the thing that you're planning on doing, because nobody else is going to make it the way that you do. And so you're gonna, you know, no matter who you are and what you do, no matter how good you are or not, you're always going to end up taking your lumps about the things that you make. And you wouldn't, you know, you would be shocked, you know. Uh, think of anything, any kind of art media that you have personally loved that hasn't come directly from like a major studio or a major label. Every single one of those artists has had to struggle and scrape and make something out of nothing just to get to the point where they have a few people looking at their stuff. And once you get to that point, you know, if there is something compelling about the thing that you've made, you know, it can take on a life of its own. But you'll never know unless you get there. And the only way you can get there is if you do the dang thing first. You have to make the thing before you can ever consider, you know, putting your vision or your creativity in front of other people's eyes. You know, like me right now, I could talk about it all day long on every single stream from here until the end of time, but until I actually do that thing and put that stuff on paper or you know, on audio or whatever the medium may be, it's all talk. So just do it. Man, okay, this place is terrible. I want this. 31 and let's see. Um So yeah, how about this? I'll even give you guys an example. I want to make music. Among the things that I've been making for many years, I've written a bunch of lyrics to songs, and I've got the music for most of them, but I can't really play any instruments. That's going to be a very difficult thing to translate into audio, especially audio that's produced at a level that people would want to hear. So that's going to take me quite a while to get right. But it's something that I plan on doing. It's something that I want to do. I don't really have that good of a singing voice. I'm going to do it anyway. I've got songs in genres from metal to rap, and just about everything in between, but maybe one song for every genre in between. But I want to make some of those, maybe not all of them, but I'm gonna give it a good try. I'm gonna do as many as I can, and I'm going to do them to the highest level that I can. But right this second, I don't have the resources to do it. I don't have the space to set up any of my equipment. I don't have the kind of like, I don't know any producers. I don't know anybody that would have insight on how to, make certain things better and whatnot. But I've got this. I've got the vocals. I've got the music. Most of the music. I don't know how I'm gonna make it happen. I might end up having to like hum or beatbox some of the melodies once I finally find a producer that's willing to work with me. That could be hilarious in and of itself. I don't really know. Honestly, I don't know how that's gonna go. No. Oh no! What? Hacks. I didn't see that cave until it was too late. Ah, man. All right, well, how about this? We'll sit here for a couple minutes and I'll talk about I need to find a new seed because I've been looking for a new seed so I can run some Coke percent runs. Yeah, slash undo. Yeah, control Z. Yeah, if he wasn't a Fisher and a Weber, I probably could have gotten away. But it is what it is. Yeah, no kidding. I've been looking for good seeds to run Coke percent, and actually I found this seed while I was trying to find a Coke percent seed. So I'm probably gonna go ahead tonight after I kill the stream. I'll probably either jump back into Craft Exile, or I might go ahead and shoot through another like half dozen seeds tonight just to see if I can find get lucky and find a good one. If anybody out there does a similar thing, I'm looking for a seed that has a coastal village, like a coastal village spawn, because I think that'll be the best way for me to get a good time on my Coke percent runs. But that would also make a good seed for a hardcore run. So it is what it is. It sucks taking this L right here. I was not expecting this whatsoever, but you're right. Like John said, exploring in a hardcore world is a bit of a crapshoot, and I had been exploring for quite a while. So Um, it was, I was continually crap shooting there. And it finally caught up to me. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Um, Here, let's go here. I'll end up. This is gone. But again, I was trying meme seeds, which is why I've still got these here. This one right here actually is pretty nice. I was so sick of trying seed after seed after seed, I started trying meme seeds. So that's what this one is. But this one is actually not bad. I mean, I wouldn't mind starting here. This seed looks almost the same as my Coke percent seed, which is 101. And there's plenty of resources in a starter village like this to get started. And I could either make a house up on a hill like this, or I could, I could use the top floor of one of these buildings like I have been for the previous runs. So, uh, again, I wanted to stream tonight, to have another stream, to get another stream up online, but the next stream is definitely going to be the Dwarven Stronghold run. I just haven't gotten enough done there to be able to show anything off. I've done a whole bunch of little stuff over in that world, but not nearly enough to show off for a whole episode, and for a whole stream. So a couple more days of work on that one, and I think I'll be able to show off some things. And also, the next time I go into that world, we should be in medium voltage. Right now, I'm still counting myself in low voltage because I haven't made any of the machines yet. But I've made plenty of aluminum, and I've even made some. I've even made some circuits. Did I mention that I've got 4? Nice, dude. That's cool as hell. That's awesome. Yeah, one of the little. I can't wait to see what you do with that. I know one of the little things that I've been doing lately is I actually I just stripped out the floor of my dining hall. If John, you probably remember more than anybody in this chat, the dining hall and the armory, I fully replaced the floor with unspawnable blocks, and I've made the painting machines so that I can put painted glowstone in the floor and get rid of all the torches as well. So I've been playing Torch Hunter on the Dwarven Stronghold run, and it feels really good to get all of the torches off the floor. So I could just imagine how cool it's going to look with 448 chairs. It's going to be like absolutely epic. What's the screenshot in the Discord? Awesome. I'll take a look at that here in a couple minutes. I guess I don't really have anything else to switch off on. Like, I'm not gonna go play Balatro or anything like that tonight. This has already been more or less a full stream, even though it ended prematurely. So I think I'll go ahead and raid somebody here in a few minutes. I just haven't looked to see who's online, so but I will definitely take a look at that here in a second. And then again, I liked the rule set for season 2. I liked the idea of not warping. I think I'll keep that. I don't think I don't know if I'm going to change any other rules between season 2 and season 3. At least as of right now, I don't think I will. Season 3 will begin in a couple weeks, probably. I'll probably will start that one after the uncertainty of my current job is over. So So that'll be the timing for that one. It could very well be on this seed. This is again, this is a meme seed. This was 42069. So, but it's not terrible. And it's among the best seeds that I've found. I'm not finding the ones that I want, so this might have to do. Yeah, well, you can use letters, numbers, symbols, and a minus sign at the beginning. And the seeds can be up to, I think it's either 16 or 20 digits, but you can use any kind of combination of alphanumerics in a seed, and it gets converted to a numeric seed when it's finished. And when you if you start looking through seeds, and if you make a world in creative and then you use the seed, you could do this command right here, and no matter what you put in for the seed at the creation screen, it'll give you a numeric seed here, and that's really what you're looking for. Again, I haven't found any seed generators for GTNH online. I've kind of looked through the Discord and the subreddit for GTNH. I just haven't found scrambles. That's so good. So if I use a monoculture seed, could I say that I'm extra basic? And I'll tell you what, y'all, this is why I like streaming. Even if I took a really terrible L there, it's cool because I like hanging out with you guys, and I just like having fun, and we're definitely gonna have more fun in the future. Let's see. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get out of this world. And you know what? Let's just do this just to have some fun real quick. So we're gonna call this one. I think I'm on 62. So watch this. On, off, on. Yes. And again, as often as I can play, as often as I can stomach doing it, I do this. I just go through 4, 5, or 6 seeds whenever I have free time, just to see if by random chance I get something that I like. This is definitely not. And especially with the tundra right there. But I like the Monsanto idea. Let's do one more real quick. Come on. All right. And this time, let's do There we go. Yeah, yeah, Monsanto snow. Yeah. Yeah, I'll try. I'll try. I'll try the upside down meme seed for the next one. I'll try this one real quick though. And what's great is for the numeric meme seed, that's actually two, because I'll put a minus sign in front of it to see if the negative looks appreciably different. Hello. Um, when you get latency like this in single player, it's about time to reload your pack. Unfortunately, uh, this isn't terrible. If there was a coastal village anywhere nearby here, this would be viable. But as you all saw, I used Mon Satan for the seed, but it got converted into that. So again, you could put anything you want for the seed, and it'll convert it to a numeric. But this one sucks. Yeah, why not? I'll tell you what. I got this stream could run for like 25 more minutes before we get more ads. So let me just do a few more of these. Why not? And then at the end I'll find somebody to raid. Let's see. Create. Jeez. We'll keep it PG. We'll do that. Create. And if anybody doesn't know, if you don't put in a seed, it'll automatically generate one for you with the name of the world that you give it, along with the time and date that it was created. So you'll always get a unique seed if you don't put any seed or name in. But it does follow that specific formula of using your the name of the world, even if it's New World, and the time and date that it was created. So this seed actually, like the only thing this seed is missing is the village. Let's be real. Like, if I might actually use this for the hardcore. I wouldn't mind like think about the beginning of Greg Tech. It would be really nice to have these kind of throwaway lakes all around to use up. It would, it would be convenient. Yeah, I don't think this one will work. It's interesting, but yeah. Once I got over to that lake area and I saw it was at 30% humidity, that was kind of the note. Let's get rid of some of these. Delete. And then delete. Delete. Yeah, so what I'm looking for a coastal village so that I have something that's good for Coke percent runs too. And that's the real reason why I keep searching seeds. Let's see, hold on, what was this? I'm gonna make it 5. Try 65. Ooh, 2. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? I could try Johnny Apple. Um, I haven't really been trying like names of people or places or anything like that. I've generally just done like try that seed and head to northwest. Okay, I could do that. So if I was looking for a seed for Coke percent like the most ideal seed would be for me to find a seed like a spawn with a coastal village where I spawn in the middle of the village right next to the water. And I think that would be like if I found that seed, I would probably use that one and none others for the Coke percent run. Um, but again, finding a very specific seed like that without a seed generator is going to be difficult, bordering impossible. So, um, unfortunately, uh, yeah, uh, negative boo did not have anything good. Okay, I'm gonna try Johnny Apple next, and then I'm gonna try yours, John. So let's see. So let's see. T66. I haven't talked about it in a stream or two. I don't think. Uh, I have done Coke percent runs in the past. I've done like 18 attempts total. I think it's something that I like to do. I just haven't had time for it lately. My current record is 16 minutes 24 seconds. Um, that's my personal best. My best recorded attempt was 17 minutes and 7 seconds. But the world record is like 9 minutes 38. And that's insane. But the reason why it was so fast was because he had a really good seed. I don't remember. I don't even remember the name of the guy at this point in time. I just remember that what I read about it was that it was a very lucky start. So, um, all right. Johnny Appleseed is a scratch. Although that is a very nice mountain. You know, the my inner dwarf is screaming gleefully, but uh I don't need another mountain. That's a scrap. Okay, so the next it's gonna be 67. And then we're let's see. Just call this one corn for this screen. And then let's see. And then create. And then head northwest. Okay. So the for a new hardcore run, I'm a little bit more forgiving of the seed, but specifically for the Coke percent run, I would need to be within like 50 blocks probably of the starting village if I wanted it to be viable for a speed run northwest. Oh yeah, I see that. That is awfully nice village. And this is 50% humidity. I mean, it's at least better than the last one I tried. So, um, let's go back to spawn real quick. Oh, come on. So let's search the local area really quick. Yeah. This might be one that I'll come back to. Let's try some more. Yeah, unfortunately. Look, it's going to be very, very difficult for me to find the seed that I want. Let's just be real. Like, I could try hundreds. Like, doing this at random like this is an effort and futility. But the only way I'll be able to do it, the way that I know how, is just to chip away at it. Whenever I can think about running a few. So the next one's gonna be 68. Let's see. And then I'll just do all that. And then here. So you guys saw the line of gibberish I typed in for the seed. I'll do the /seed command and show what it gets turned into as a numeric. Oh, are you serious? Hold on a minute. I mean, this could be my next hardcore seed, honestly. This village doesn't give any like real defense. The walls aren't situated properly, but I'm not really worried about that. That could be pretty interesting. And let's see. Yeah, that's what it turned into for the numerics. So yeah, this is not terrible, but I am tired of mountain and tundra and mesa. I would like something uh not cold and not dry and not canyon. We'll try one more and then I'll find somebody to raid. So let's see. We'll do try 69 and we'll just call this one nice. All right, come on. You can do it. Interesting. Interesting. Ooh, 11 steel and a few blaze rods. Wow. So that's what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, 10-digit seed. I thought it was 16 for some reason. I don't know why I thought it was 16. Uh, this isn't terrible. It's not what I'm looking for, but it's certainly not bad. Well, I'll tell you what. Do you guys have any other seeds that you want me to throw in here? You know, meme or not? I could try some other things real quick. We have a few more minutes, and actually, what I'll do is I'll snooze. Let me snooze everything as far as I can. Delete. Delete. And it was one of these two that I wanted to hold on to. I don't remember which one, but yeah, sure. This is the opposite of what I want for Coke percent. Dang it. Well, there's the village, though. I mean, honestly, is there sugar cane over here? I don't see any. Yeah, I don't see any. What is that? Okra. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Like Scarface over here, I got so much white powder. All right. Well, since I was able to snooze it, let's go ahead and try a couple more. I can snooze it one more time, which will push it off till push the ads off almost to the top of the hour. So let's do a couple more. But unfortunately, when I do these random like junk type seeds, almost every single time it's cold biome. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know what makes it generate in that fashion. But I would love to find a seed generator for GTNH. I don't know if it exists. Maple Woods, oh, Hot Plains. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, this seed sucks too. Okay. Oh, that's what it is. One of those cold tundra whatever's. I saw this in the distance and I was like, "What is this?" But yeah, garbage is what it is. If you ever want a redwood on top of spawns, okay. All right. All right, I want to see it. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. When I do end up playing a new hardcore seed, it'll probably end up being the same rule set as I was doing with this one. I don't think I'm gonna change anything about the actual rule set or gameplay. That is subject to change, but I didn't dislike that world. I didn't expect to get snuck up on. It is what it is. Um, this looks vaguely similar to the one that I'm using. Not that that's a bad thing. Okay. Okay. Since we got a few more minutes, let's see if I can squeeze a few more tests out. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what we get. Hmm. Yeah, not terrible, but not what I'm looking for. I'll try it. Let's see. What is it? Worst Coke seed ever. Period. All right. This. Yes, create. Ooh, interesting. Like if there was a village right here, this would be the ideal seed because it's got a shallow body of water with a ton of clay in it. There's plenty of sugarcane nearby. I need uh I need 9 sugarcane, 6 stone slabs, and I think the count was 1 and 3/4 stacks of clay and 2.5 stacks of sand. I think that's the exact counts that I need for the Coke percent run. But the thing that always kills me is if you don't find a village, it's impossible to craft stone slabs fast enough to get a speed run done. So that's why there has to be a village. Otherwise, this is really neat. Again, this could be a neat seed for a hardcore run. Although now that I'm looking at it, it's 20% humidity. Yeah, there is some 90% humidity spots, but yeah, I think in the end, I don't think that this works. All right, we'll try that seed too. That might be the one that I wrap it up on. T75. And we're gonna do okay. Southeast, okay. Yeah, I mean that's not bad. I mean, again, for a hardcore seed, this might actually this might work. Let's see. Let's see if now depending on what I see here. I don't know if I could use this for Coke, but I would always give it a try because it is a nice looking seed. It would take about a minute, maybe 90 seconds to walk over here. Uh, and the only cane along the way is these two right here. And that actually might be the deal breaker for Coke percent for this. Because if there was more cane along this coast right here, I could gather it up on my way over. But I would have to walk all the way over here. All the way over. Oh no. So there's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 9. Is there any in these planters? There isn't. Okay. Okay. Well, this wouldn't work for Coke percent, but this actually would work for a hardcore run. Let's see what the humidities are. That's all 20, 0. Oh no. Uh, 20 sucks. 0 is untenable. What does it look like over here at spawn? Ugh, all right. Yeah, I mean it's not terrible. All right. All right. It's gonna auto run some ads on me here in a second. So let me go ahead and see if I can find a good raid target, so that I can pass you guys along to have some fun before the ads hit. I think we're gonna let's raid Cat. Yeah, thanks John for hanging out, and thanks for everybody for hanging out. It's been a lot of fun. It didn't quite go the way I hoped, but I still had fun, so I hope you guys did too. Again, this is about the lowest point of my streaming quote unquote career. It should be getting better in a few weeks, but it might still take me that much longer to fully get back to a good streaming schedule. So with that being said, hopefully we can get there. And then I guess that's all I've got. So thank you so much, you guys, and have a great night.